We talk about context all the time at BC High, and our boys' current context outside the walls of the building is one that's increasingly individualistic, increasingly superficial, increasingly indifferent. Yet when they walk in the building every day, we're saying the complete opposite. We're saying be selfless, put your life at the service of others. It's about depth and not breadth. That's countercultural. That's a very different experience to what they experience when they walk out the doors. And our capacity to reconcile that and to draw them into that space where they find genuine meaning in terms of their Jesuit formation is the real challenge. Because what they're hearing outside is, at times, fundamentally different. It's that courage to be countercultural which is most inspiring.
At the bottom of our school seal is our Latin motto that translates to that they may know you, that our students, that members of our community may know Christ. And they get to know Christ through the warmth of their relationships with their teachers and those that serve here at BCI.
The skills and morals you develop here as being like meant for others, like it will never leave you even after BC High.
For our young men across the globe, they share those tenets of a Jesuit education, that we're about service, we're about faith, we're about spirituality, we're about our Ignatian tenets. And I think young men and women who graduate from schools, from Jesuit schools, share that charism. And so the Ignatian pedagogy is really embedded in our boys. They're men of faith, they're men of competence, they're men of character.
It's about the adults in the building having a deep understanding and appreciation for each individual context of the boys that are in the school. And through that then developing strong relationships based on a true sense of accompaniment. When you've got that in place, then the learning can happen at a deep level. But that's the only way it can happen. And we know, especially with boys, the relationship's not right, and the relationship isn't real and authentic, and you don't draw the boys into the space, the learning won't happen.
BCI is not a place where you're from, but it's a place where you go from. So BCI is a launching point. It's a starting point for a lifelong commitment to justice. When you leave BCI, you don't leave behind the ideas of being open to growth and seeking out those on the margins.
I think they're getting a sense of that they're part of something bigger than themselves. I think sometimes education can be a very individual pursuit. I have my homework, I have my to-do list, and I'm going to get this done. I'm going to submit my assignments, and this is all about me. And then this is going to lead to a great job for me someday. But is that a great way of living life? We foster a sense of ongoing gratitude, and then we act out of that. To be able to look at your hands and say, everything that I've been given in life is a gift from God. God has placed all of these good gifts in my hands. Now, how can I be open enough to share those with others? How can I be open enough to realize that, wow, all these things I've been given, this education, this is all a gift for me.
I feel like going to Jesuit high school, the thing that matters most to me is being open to growth. I feel like when you're introduced to different subjects and like different things that you may or may not like, I feel like kind of changes you as a person and helps you to really like truly find out like who you are.
It's going forward and instilling that in others, continuing the Jesuit education in your everyday life, whatever career path you take or wherever you may go. The idea that that Jesuit education sticks with you and those core values should inform everything you do from your time on at BC High. And to instill those in others is almost as rewarding as having them instilled in you, because to spread that fire would create a world of justice instead of just a school of justice.
To be able to understand that his education is not just for himself, but that is one that is meant to be shared within his family and his community and beyond.
All the Jesuit traditions that we study throughout our years, it's not just simply just a checklist that we just go through. I mean, I've grown into a person that my parents can say like, hey, this person's on the right track.
You know, I say to our teachers, like when a boy walks into a class, I want them to walk out 45 minutes later a better man. Now, if they're in there learning the periodic table or whatever it may be, or an exponential logarithm math or all that stuff, that's fine. But they need to be challenged at a deeper level through that experience and have a greater understanding of self when they walk out the door. It may not always be neat or easy. It may be hard for them to reconcile, but they've got to feel it. They should be feeling that every day they come in here. And at the end of the day, when they walk out there, they should be a better man than when they walked in at 8 in the morning. And that's ambitious, and there's a dash of utopia to that. I get all that. But I believe it.